Welcome to the podcast What's Next from and with Carmen, Cornelia, Haselwanter. As an expert in self-determination, I deal with topics such as success, joy of life, passion and health, so that you may take many inputs for yourself. Enjoy listening to this episode. With great pleasure, I'm welcoming today at this podcast, What's Next, a very, very unusual and amazing lady. And it's a great pleasure to have you, dear Martha Wirtenberger, in my podcast, especially because you are actually as well from my neighborhood where I grew up. And as well, you are a writer, and both of us, we have been part of several books. And it's a great pleasure to welcome you here. Hi, Martha.
Hi, Carmen. It's so nice to be here with you. Very happy.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's not, it's so great when through our business, through our doing, through our calling, whatever, we have as a calling, by doing that to meet people. And you are definitely one of the person I so happy to have met. And but before I tell more about our connection, please tell more to our listeners, to our audience, who is Martha Wirtenberger?
Who is Martha Wirtenberger? What a question.
True, yeah.
Well, like you said before, Carmen, I'm a writer by heart. I love to write. And since I can remember, since I got my first diary with 8 years, I had to document like what is inside me later on. At first, it was like what I see, what I feel. And later on, it became really journaling. And out of the journaling, books and articles and lots of intuitive writing. I also love to encourage myself and others. That's one of my passions, to encourage to go new ways, to trust the signs and to trust the insights we have, even though they might sound crazy at first. It's a passion, and to be creative in general, to be in nature. That's what I am. I love nature. I love writing. I love connecting with inspiring people like yourself, traveling. Yeah, that's who I am, basically.
Yeah, and that's also one of the reasons why the topic of our today's podcast is, well, creativity through, courage through creativity. That's the right one, yes. How comes that you choose that title for today's podcast?
Well, it has to do a lot with my work, but it also has to do a lot with my personality. I like to go beyond borders, so to speak. I really love to explore myself in unusual ways. I worked with the Red Cross in countries of crisis. I worked in different contexts. And of course, that scared me in a way at first. But it also inspired me at the same time. And I really felt this calling. I have to do this, even though it's new. I don't have a role model. I don't have anyone I could, to ask with 18, 19, 20 years or later on. I was always the first one around in my surrounding, in my family, of course, but also in my circle of friends. And that was scary and it was inspiring. And I felt when I see myself already doing it, or when I can imagine that, there is this saying, no? If you can imagine it, it's already happening, or it can be true. And I felt with seeing those images, seeing myself in these scenarios, when I had difficult times with personal situations, like the death of my brother when I was quite young, I always found writing so helpful to get the courage to move through. To move through all these difficult feelings and to see myself at the other side. Once I come out of this grief, or I come out of this pain or these difficulties or these doubts, it helped me to be creative. It really helped me to get the courage to move through all these fears and doubts. Yeah.
Very beautiful. And you already what you mentioned already, that you have really lived through some tough times and situations as well. You have lived in several countries, such as Peru, you mentioned, huh? I believe there you have also get very much connected with the nature. And I guess that was also one of the steps which helped you very much to live the creativity through the nature, wasn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Peru was for me a heart opener and soul opener completely. And I also had the luck, or well, I created it. Basically, I really created it to have time there for myself and to learn from the Keros shamans and to learn about the culture, the language. I tried to learn Quechua, well, Spanish, of course, but also Quechua, and to connect with Pachamama, with Mother Nature. They call it Pachamama there. And through connecting with the earth and really learn from the natives, I felt that my channel to write and to be creative was opened even more through nature and to be with myself there in silence mostly. Because what I really loved about the Keros, they don't talk much. They do things with nature. They call the spirits, they call the water, they call the fire. They talk small, well, little words, right? Only a few words, but they connect with nature by spirit and by energy. And that really inspired me and motivated me. Yeah, a lot.
Sounds very, very interesting. That must have been a very amazing experience. And you mentioned something before I would like just to pick out. You said, I created the time to do that.
Yes.
And that's so important. And I want to really point out on that, because most of the time people are saying, oh, I don't have time for that. And it is, as a creator of your own life, it is of your own choice what you do with your time.
Exactly.
And, yeah. And then would like to bring up also that what you create for your environment, for the people, for your surrounding, because you have so great workshops and retreats. And please feel free to explain a bit what you offer to the environment, to the people around you, for them to have the courage to go through the creativity.
Thank you for the questions. Yeah, I basically show in my courses how to create your life, or how to have the courage to follow your dreams. Dreaming is a big topic for me. Also the rituals I learned in Peru, because I'm very connected with this country. I give in online courses, I give in groups, I give one-on-one, whatever works, because I like to work online also. That was one of the advantages from Corona time, I guess, that I exposed more myself to do online courses and to connect with people that way. Also, I work with Lomi Lomi. It's a body work from Hawaii that really brings you into the flow and releases all the tension, all the difficulties you might have in your body, because our body really is our instrument. It's our vehicle in life. I also do courses on writing, on coming into creativity yourself, meditation. I do retreats in Iceland, not Iceland.
It's coming up very soon in February, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes, it's end of February. It's a beautiful group with Italians and Austrians, and we will stay in the north. Basically spending time in nature, doing ceremonies, connecting with the land, with the power sites, and also writing and creativity has a big space there. And yeah, it's not possible to be there live in February because the group is already booked, but you can be there online if you choose to do and get the energy daily from me, from Iceland, from storytelling, also videos, also different kind of intuitive things that flow through me basically. And in September, I will do another group in Iceland, which I'm looking forward to. Yeah, what else?
Well, I would like to add up here for our listeners, if anybody feels catched up by this, oh, I would like to be part of it, because this sort of technology which we have actually as availability makes it possible to be part of it. So if you want to join this online, you just need to write an email. I'm going to give all the information anyway below, so you can really take it. But I think it's a very good opportunity for those who think about being part of it in September, to see how it works like in February. And I would like really to add up here to allow yourself, to give you the space to get out of your comfort zone, of your environment, which you know every step of it, every meter, every centimeter. Allow yourself, to go out, to get to know new people, because this is also activating your creativity. And with programs such as Martha's or ours, when we're going to do something in June, like, to join us in Portugal for a couple of days, that's something, which opens up your worlds, and you will explore yourself on a unlimitedness, right?
Yes. Yes, that's how it all started in my life, to really go out and just jump, basically, alone, and go and travel the world by myself, and meet new places, new people, and it really connects your brain and your heart and your soul, and you're completely like, wow, what else is possible? It's amazing. I really recommend it. So beautiful.
Yeah. Good point. Recommendation. Is there any suggestion you would like to give to our listeners all around the world? Because being able to speak in English, you may now give one or two advices to people who are listening in regards of courage and creativity. Please feel free.
What I really feel, Carmen, what we covered earlier, to create the room. I would like to speak a bit about that. By an example, because this really could inspire listeners from all over the world to do something similar, or maybe the same. When I had my divorce, I was kind of broke, of course, emotionally, but also financially in a way. And I felt, well, of course I would need to work, because that's the only logical thing to do. But my heart and soul needed space. And I felt it was like this game we often have, that the heart says something and the mind says something else. And I trusted my heart. That's who I am. I always trust my heart. And my heart said, go to Peru. Even it didn't make sense, because he was Peruvian. And I thought, well, why Peru? I don't want to go there. I want to go somewhere else. But it was so loud. You have to go to Peru. You have to work with children. You have to take at least 6 months off, completely no working, to recover. That was the voice. And I thought, okay, it doesn't make sense, but that's what I'm doing. And I did it. It was the most amazing time I could possibly describe here, because I was healing. More than that, I met the most amazing people. I was guided from one step to the next. Like, I wanted to write a book, then a publisher appeared the next day. Then I wanted to have money, and somehow money appeared. And that's how the universe works. If you really follow your calling, or your heart voice, or your soul voice, everything works for you, not against you. You just have to trust yourself, and you have to find the courage to create this space. And of course, it doesn't have to be 6 months. It can be one weekend or one day, but to allow this time, and not tell yourself this story, I don't have the time, and once I am finished with this, I will make time for that. Do it now, because this is really, really important, that we follow our heart, our soul, and to have the space for ourselves, and to get new experiences, and new encounters, new beautiful people who appear, new ideas, inspiration, and it helps us along. It helps us with our life to move along with the flow. Yeah.
Very beautiful. I fully agree with you. And this is such a great suggestion, because no matter where you are, no matter how old you are, no matter what actually you have lived through, that's really something which is out of your own choice to go that path. And even if you're a person who were not able to travel around the world, or even step out of your country, that doesn't matter. It all depends of your own choice. What is going to be your next step?
Yes.
Would you like to add up something else, Martha?
Yeah, the morning pages, that's also something that we can do at home. We don't have to travel anywhere. It's something that I really love doing. It's from Julia Cameron, who introduced this into the world, I guess. The idea is to get up in the morning. If you have to run to your office, or look after your children, get up half an hour earlier than usual, and prepare yourself a coffee or a tea, whatever you need in the morning. And then sit down, before doing anything, sit down and write whatever comes up. And if you don't know what wants to come up, just say, I don't know, whatever, I don't know. There's nothing there that inspires me. And all of a sudden, you will see interesting sentences or words coming onto the pages. And I recommend doing it on a paper, not on the computer, not on the laptop, because it's more free and it's really coming with your intuition and with your voice. And then don't read it again, just put it in an envelope and do it for 21 days, because usually 21 days is like a programming for our brain to get new habits or to get used to new things. And then you can read it again, what you wrote. And I heard so inspiring stories that people kind of wrote their book by doing the morning pages, or had a solution for a problem they didn't know how to fix, and all of a sudden they write their solution. So that's something I recommend doing. Yeah.
So, my dear listeners, start up by tomorrow morning. When you get up, sit down and take a piece of paper and just write whatever comes into your mind without judging. Just write. And that's something which, as Martha really said, you can do anywhere where you are. Thank you very much, Martha. It was such a great pleasure having you here.
It was so much fun. It's so nice to be here in this space with you. Yeah,
thank you. Thank you very much. And I would like to give you just the possibility again to say something again to the listeners before we're going to close that podcast, please.
Yes, I'm happy to say, or to give you this hard advice, to really allow your space wherever you are, whatever you want to do. Find your passion, your creative passion, if it's writing, if it's drawing, if it's dancing, if it's walking barefoot in the forest and just feeling and exploring, whatever it is. Lose the perfection and trust your instincts, and just allow this creativity in your life, because it can really bring you to places you would never expect, and it can really help you fulfill your dreams you have in your life. Yeah.
How beautiful.
And you get courage.
How beautiful. Thank you. Yes, that's exactly. I just can underline everything what Martha said. And please be aware out there, we two ladies are going to create our new project, and we're going to inform you, of course, what we both, our creative minds, is going to develop for yourself. In the meantime, I want to say again, thank you, Martha, for being here. And thank you, dear listeners, for taking the time of listening to this podcast. It was a great pleasure. And I just can add up, make sure that every day you live yourself in the best version. Thank you very much, and all the best. Bye-bye. Bye, everybody. Bye. Take care. Thank you for listening to Your Mindset Mentor. Talk to you very soon again. And in the meantime, make sure that every day you live yourself in the best version, because you're worth it. Take care. All the best. Bye-bye.